Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are tuned in to the Vitamin D with Dawn Dai podcast, and I am your host, Dawn Dai, here to get you excited about your life so that you can live life on purpose and for a purpose. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Vitamin D, it's a pun of my name. My name is Dawn, and you get vitamin D from the sun, so I'm here to shed light into your life. And I do this with inspirational insights and conversations with celebrities and everyday people like you and me. Because if you want to be better and you want to do better, then you're going to have to be able to see better. So join me on this journey of living our best lives and understanding and realizing how you are your greatest asset.
Get your vitamin D right here with me and get excited about your life.
Like a rolling stone, I'm rolling, I'm rolling, I'm rolling, I'm rolling. Yo, I've been listening to this track. This artist named Jameson, J-M-S-N. I can't remember exactly where he's from, but he is by way of Detroit. I mean, this brother got swag. Anyway, I was just listening to him a few minutes ago and made me think about it. But hello, I'm coming to you live from my closet. Not necessarily where Vitamin D started, but definitely this go around now that I've been with iHeartRadio and on every platform for podcasts. The first episode of Vitamin D with Dawn Dai was recorded right here in this closet. In fact, one of the earliest episodes, I had one with Cayman Kelly. You may have checked out that. But with J. Anthony Brown, oh my God, if you've been listening for a bit, you may recall that I actually talked about that episode with J. Anthony Brown because I was sitting in my closet. I was sitting on the stool. I had my laptop propped up on the TV stand, like a TV dinner back in the day, whatever. And because I was so nervous, and probably because it was summer and, I don't have central air in my place in LA, sweating bullets with these big old headphones in. That's not the case right now because Vitamin D is in Studio E in Sherman Oaks, California, but I had to come in for a special episode. Every Saturday, Jeremiah and I have like a company meeting where we go over what we're going to talk about the podcast, things that we need to do, what we're changing. It's our way of connecting, just a one-on-one. And I told him, I said, I got something to get off my chest. We're going to have to go in the closet and record this episode. So that's what we are. That's why we're here. Now, the real reason of why we're about to do what we're about to do, I got something to tell you. It's not a laughing matter. I think that's a nervous laugh that I just gave you. But vitamin D, me, Dawn Dai, I guess, wasn't always vitamin D. And I was reminded of that this weekend. What I mean by that, I was on Facebook. And how like the memories and stuff come up. Well, I was on Facebook and in the memories, and I saw a childhood friend had a comment on the picture. Was from years ago. So just like anybody else, I go ahead and I click on her profile just to see what's going on. And I noticed that we weren't friends. So not thinking anything of it, I go ahead and request a friendship. The next day, I hadn't even talked to another girlfriend yet. So I request a friendship. I got a message from her and she says, "Why do you want to be my friend? Why now?" I said, "Oh, snaps." I didn't reply yet. I already knew where this is going. I'm talking to my homegirl, Shelly. I was talking to Shelly. I said, "Oh, girl," I said, look how the tables have turned." She said, "What you talking about?" I said, "This girl that I used to go to school with." And when I say school, I went to a Montessori school. It's called 𝘸𝘪𝘵 Montessori. And I started going to school like 2.5, but basically since I was 3. So I did the whole preschool, kindergarten there. And this young lady I'm about to tell you about, we went from school from there all the way up to probably our freshman year. So our parents are friends, like the whole shwam, wham, wham. Anyway, so I'm talking to Shelly and I said, "Girl," I said, "look at the coincidence." I said, "I think something is about to stir up." She said, "Dawn, what are you talking about?" I said, "This girl I used to bully." Yes. I said that right. "This girl I used to bully and always tease her about not wanting to be her friend." I said, "I am the one requesting her friendship on Facebook." And I said, I already know where this is going because she asked me, why do you want to be my friend? And I remember distinctly, I don't know why I used to do it. I can't tell you why. But when we were growing up, for whatever reason with her, and I'm not going to say her name, just for the whole, just because I can imagine how traumatizing this is. So we can call her, Ashley. That's a basic name, Ashley. And no offense to any Ashley that's listening. I'm not saying you're basic. I'm just giving a generic name. But all I could see was this girl that wanted to be my friend, and I knew that I could tease her. And I would tease her so bad that she would cry. And she says, why don't you like me? Why don't you want to be my friend, Dawn? I said, I don't want to be your friend today. I'm not going to be your friend anymore. Like venomously doing that to her. So I'm telling Shelly, I say, girl, I don't know what she's going to say. I had gotten the messages in. So when she said, I just want to know why, so I replied back. Now, this is probably going on to like a 3 or 4 day stretch. I mean, right now I'm in my closet. It's October 2nd. So this probably started on like a Thursday. So what, that was like the 29th or something, or 30th? I'm not sure. So a couple of days ago, it's still fresh. So I wait the next morning. I look and see what she says. And she's like, she says, why? And I reply back and I said, well, to be honest, I noticed just everything I just said to you. I said, I noticed you had made a comment. I went on your page to see what was going on. Once I realized that we weren't friends, I decided to friend us. I said nothing more, nothing less. Now, I told you I am not working on my vulnerability, which is going to enhance me living my best life and what's going to trickle down to this podcast, right? Because I told you with vitamin D, it's the good and the bad. So that includes me, right? So she says, why now? And I told her, I said, listen, I gave her every reason why I was on the page. And I said, because I'm going to own up to my stuff. I said, if I've been unkind to you, I would like to apologize for being unkind to you. And she said, oh, is that what you call it? Or I don't know what she said. She was like, you were a bully. She said, you put me down in tears. And I just want to know, why did you do it? And I'm reading this message and I'm hurt and I have to own up to it. I can't carry any of this lightly, because if you're getting to the point and you're breaking down somebody's emotion, what do you make them feel? Now, mind you, I was telling Shelly all about this the day before. I already knew everything was going to go down. And I'm at a space right now where I want to grow and I want to heal. And you'd be surprised as to even doing work with somebody, how she's coming at me, how Ashley is coming at me saying, Dawn, you did X, Y, and Z. There's some healing or some work that Dawn has to do. And even as I go with my vulnerability, because what was it about you, Dawn, that did that? What? And I'm not saying I don't believe I'm that person now, because if anything, I always try to go to the underdog. And what I mean by that, the person that may not have a voice, because I know the voice that I have. And I want to be an amplifier for that. I want to show you like it doesn't matter. But for whatever reason with Ashley, that was not the case. So I owned up to it. I said, listen, I was like, you are absolutely right. And I was like, it was not nice. I was like, I was an immature kid. I even said to her, I said, here is my number. Boop, 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 boop. I would love for you to call me because I want to make sure that I articulate myself properly. Now, of course, I'm not sure if she's going to be in a space of welcoming that, because the first thing she did on a friend request on Facebook was like, why do you want to be my friend? And I'm not mad at it. Now, Shelly, not thinking anything of it, she was like, girl, you should just block her or whatever. And I said, no, I'm going to create that space, because it's so easy to close a window, but you'd be surprised when you open it up what kind of air come in. Not only for the sake of airing things out, but sometimes bringing freshness in. It's a new thing. So I want to open this up because I got some healing to do. I told you I'm working on my dreams. I'm here to live my best life. How you do anything is how you'll do everything. So who am I to close off this conversation with somebody who said something that I inflicted? And it's over 20 years. And she even said that. She said, well, don't you think this apology should have been happening 20 years ago? And I'm like, absolutely right. For whatever reason, I didn't think to hit her up to explain why I did what I did. But I promised to God and I put it on everything. I have not forgotten about this girl over the years. I would even tell my friends, I'm like, I really regret for teasing this girl named Ashley. I would tease her about not being her friend because I wanted her to be strong. I wanted her to be confident. But why was it that in this backwards mindset that I thought of pushing you down was raising you up? Where did we get that from? And that's why I'm such a proponent about speaking life. And maybe I had to have this experience to do a reflection of me, because listen, half of the time when things are clean, they have to be dirty. Now, that doesn't mean I'm speaking spam, but what I'm saying is that why I want to step forward in life, because I know there are probably other countless things that I've done, but I want to show ownership. I don't want my view to be blurry. I want her to express herself. And I think we all need to create spaces where we can express ourselves. We owe that to ourselves. Now, regardless of the fact that I was intentional, regardless of the fact that I was an immature kid, it's the fact that she felt that way. Now, we will always, you've heard the saying, may not remember what somebody did, but you will always remember how someone made you feel. And I didn't make her feel good. And I challenge you, have you offended somebody? Have you made somebody not feel like their best? Because it's time to really take a listen and take a look at what we're doing with our life. All you have to do is say it. And I think when we get to the point where we own up to ourselves and who we are, that's how we get the conversation going. That's how we get to our best life. And more importantly, that's how we get to the healing. I said, I'm in the healing business. I'm not trying to put patches on anything. And who knows what the healing I got to receive from what she going to tell me about myself. I feel like that's even some growth with Dawn. And I'm telling you, I'm here to grow. I got things to do. And realizing that, and the things that I have to do is to amplify somebody else. Remember, I said I'm in the business of making dreams come true. And I damn sure ain't gonna forget about mine. But in my instance of my dreams, that's the support of everyone else. And if I've done something that has offended somebody to the core, where you're looking at 20 years plus later, we got some stuff to clean up, Dawn. We got something we got to talk about, huh? Hey, Dawn, I think we might need to do some inner work. Because there's even something to be said about acknowledging who Dawn as a child was. Because that's a lot of who this woman is. And I think oftentimes that we get to the whole notion of trying to ignore what was and not realizing that it has some contributing factor of what is. We can talk about how what was and how we're doing all the pollution in society, and what is right now is we're having climate change. It's just the fact of the matter. Now, it is behind us. We don't have to concentrate because we're not going that way. But best believe that those roots, that rearview mirror that keeps you knowing where you're going, you got to check it sometimes. You got to check the obstacles or the objects in your way. So if this is an obstacle or an object where I got to own some stuff with Dawn, yeah. And I also take it as a learning lesson because we always want to think so highly of ourselves and how great we are. I'm not saying I'm a bad person, but remember what I've said before in the podcast? What allows a diamond to shine are the multitudes of cuts that have been placed within it. Now, whether that cut is of a pain that somebody else inflicted, or maybe it's something that I'm not too proud about, but I'm going to step up and I'm going to come clear with it. I'm going to show up and own what it is that I have. And create space for communication, create space because, I've been a plus size girl my entire life, and blessed and fortunate enough that I wasn't teased like that. Now, if I was, maybe little remarks, but nothing where I was taken to tears. And my God has shown grace that I was able to make it, because I don't know what that would have felt like. Who's to say if I were teased, if I would be the same Dawn talking to you right now, so bold and audacious with so much audacity to go after her dreams. I can't say that would have been me. And a part of me I heard, in fact, I did cry about it because I don't know if I robbed her from anything from her life. I don't know what I stopped. And it doesn't feel good. It really makes me feel bad, but I can't change it. But I want to let her know that I'm sorry. I don't know why I did it because, you think about time is so short. And just like talking about the roots and the extension, I don't know if I put any things on her fruit. I don't know if I stopped her from doing anything because she had a situation of, I don't have any friends. But I'm going to own it. And I guess I had to get in here right now because she just messaged me again. And she's like, I said something to her. I was like, your name comes up quite often. She's like, how? Why does my name come up? And I said, because I always tell people how I regret how I treated you. And she was like, so you do regret how you treated me. She was like, good. She also said good, how the fact of me owning up to being a bully and not so nice to her. And I'm going to own it. And, I think that we could do a lot better with owning our crap. Because that's what we know we got to clean up. Can you imagine walking around stinking and not even know that you're stinking? At least if you do stink, you know you can take a shower. And when we do this whole thing, when we trying to ignore and trying to act like everything's all peaches and cream, this is where we get into a situation where we start to stink. And don't nobody want to be around people that stink. And stinking isn't just a smell. It's an aura. It's an energy. It's a vibe. It's that unclear that, it's the thing that you can see it. You can feel it. It's that. And I don't want that because I want to welcome in space. So I didn't tell her, but you know what I would like to do if I hadn't given this, I would have loved to have her. And I would love to have her on the podcast. I wouldn't, I don't think I would, reveal her name. Keep that to a minimum. But I want it on there because I guess in a sense calling me out, but also calling somebody else out that may have done the same thing. Like, sometimes you hear from bullying, but I don't know if I've ever seen an episode on TV or heard something where somebody is coming back and is an adult to talk about the bullying. I'm sure that was, but I can't recall right now. And I want to put it on the forefront because I don't think people realize how it truly can make someone feel. And it's giving a voice to somebody who for over 20 years probably felt voiceless because I simply did not say I was sorry. And here's the thing. I'm not one to usually say sorry because my mom always taught us, like, you're not a sorry individual. You can apologize, but I'm not offended. I don't feel any way about saying sorry in this situation because I did it dirty, as my mama would say. Oh, Dawn, that was dirty. But yeah, it would be nice to have her on and just have an open conversation about how I made her feel. And, she keeps asking me, she's like, well, what made you do it? And I would like to talk to her because, sometimes when you send in a text, like, mind you, this whole conversation, what's going down is on the Facebook Messenger. I'm over myself. It's on Facebook Messenger. Times with text, not your emotions or how you're saying things don't always come out or match up the same way. So I would really love to first have the conversation, but really to have her on the podcast and really call me out. Because I want to hear you. I want to give that platform. But I have some friends that say, listen, it may be not the right time because clearly there's still, and I say this loosely, work because even these years I say, a friend request on Facebook triggered what happened when we were kids. And I'm not going to disregard that. I'm not going to take it lightly. And I ain't going to say, oh, you should be over it right now. No, that's not the case. But if there was an opportunity and if I could create the space for her to come on this podcast and us to talk about it, I want to talk about it. And I want to really know how it made you feel. And perhaps, healing for both of us. Because who was this Dawn? Why did she do that like that? And look at this. Over 20-something years later, oh my, have the tables turned. Dawn is sending a friend request. Who are you trying to send a friend request to, huh? Are you aware of your past and how you treated people? In fact, are you holding on to something that how somebody made you feel? Has the space been created for the conversation to take place? More importantly, do you realize that your voice or that person's voice is worthy to be heard? And last but not least, are you ready to receive it? Catch it. Well, that's it. I just had to come in the closet. Literally, come in the closet. But I'm about to step out the closet with this story. And again, Ashley is a pseudonym. I'm sorry. Dawn Dai was a bully, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry for being that immature kid. I'm sorry for whatever I handled in your life. I'm sorry. And if I could take it back, I would. I would. Because you deserve more. And every person out there, you deserve more. You take up space. You own your space. Nobody can tell you and shouldn't put you down about taking up your space. Own your space in this world. And for those who are owning their space, be mindful of how you take up your space. Just because you take up space boldly does not mean that you need to outshine or outcast other people. I.e. bully, i.e. put them down, i.e. try to step on them, i.e. push them down thinking they gonna bounce up. That ain't it. But yeah, these are my confessions. I know we didn't expect this, but that's what that was today. I want to encourage you though, if you would like to be a guest or you would like to submit a letter to email VitaminD@DawnDaiSpeaks.com. I solicit letters for advice on relationships, love, anything. Heck, you might even want to check me about this, or maybe have something else you want to question from you being a bully or somebody that bullied you. I want to encourage you to submit it that way too, okay? And if you'd like to be a guest, I'd like to talk to you. Maybe you got something to talk about. You got a book, you got something. But I want it to be something that we can shed light and inspire people, okay? That's what this is all about. Now that we got that out the way, also, have you checked out our YouTube page? Yes, we're infiltrating more content. We got a lot of episodes from past interviews, as well as snippets of quick doses. Basically, everything that you hear now, you can see it on YouTube. And everything becomes better when you can put like a whole visualization to it. So go ahead and check it out on YouTube at Dawn Dai Speaks. Well, if you want some vitamin D in the meantime or between time, I want to encourage you to follow me on social media at Dawn Dai Speaks everywhere, okay? Hit me up. Request me as a friend. I was saying we can actually have a conversation. Come on. And is there anything else? I don't think so. I think that's it. Jeremiah is giving me the thumbs up. He's sitting here. I got the two little TV stands set up. He got the chair from the dining room table. I'm standing in the closet I'm going to give it to you raw and real, because this is Vitamin D with Dawn Dai. Okay? All right. I'm in the business of making dreams come true. And I damn sure ain't going to forget about mine. So until next time, always remember, you are your greatest asset.
Get your vitamin D right here with me and get excited about your life.